All right, you guys, the notches are in. They're just tacked in. Obviously, I still got to fully weld, but my plan is, one, I'm gonna go eat some lunch because I'm starving. I've had a hell of a day so far. So when I come back from lunch, I'm gonna cut the back half of the chassis for the rear of the notch. Make sure that's good. Level everything up, and then from there, boom, burn it all in, and then I'll go ahead and burn in the front cross member, burn in the rear cross member, weld and blend, and then from there, we're ready to start painting some suspension, guys. I know originally the plan was we were going to do some suspension today, and we still may get to it, but I had a whole bunch of problems. The power steering pump on the black OBS went out. Had a nightmare trying to find the pump that we need. So yeah, I kind of got behind schedule dealing with that. But we're back on this. The main priority, obviously, the first half of the day was kind of a wash, but I think we're in good in a good spot. So, like I said, I'm gonna go eat lunch, and then I'll come back and we'll get some more filming done, guys. Hopefully, get some more knocked out. I'd like to have the back half completely welded up and blended by the end of the day. So, stay tuned. I'm gonna go eat. What's up, everybody? Back on the channel, and again, I started you guys off with a whole lot of action, and figured I'd let you guys see that before I went ahead and talked about what I was doing. Plus, I wanted to get some progress done. So, basically where we're at now, guys, we've got the frame rails completely welded, the new back half completely welded to the chassis, the factory chassis. I went ahead and boxed the chassis out, got that fully welded. I went ahead and had to cut my crazy pattern to get these notches in there where we wanted them, but those are all welded in, blended out, as you guys can tell. And let me slide you in closer, guys. You can see what I'm kind of working on here. Down in this area, I didn't want it to, if you look at the other side, you can see it just goes from 6 inches, which is the factory chassis, to 3 inches. I didn't like the way that looked. So what I did was I made a bunch of box out plates, kind of like a closeout for the chassis. So now it has a little bit of a step down. It looks a lot better. Granted, you'll probably never see it when the bed's on, but I strive to do the best work I can and making stuff that looks better aesthetic, and not only aesthetic, but it's actually stronger because now it's pretty much double welded and double reinforced. So I went ahead and did that. I'm gonna go ahead and weld in this front cross member because I'll be cutting a drive shaft loop for it, just because we don't know how low the client wants to ride this truck. So the last thing I want is for this drive shaft to hit. I need to go ahead and make the box out for the other side. So I'll get that knocked out today. I'll get that done and all welded up. And then from there, we're gonna start hanging suspension, guys. I'm gonna set the rear end, get it evened out left to right, front to back. I have my center line marks right here on my chassis, so I can hang a plumb bob and get it set up. I don't like doing it on jack stands, but since the truck is on the lift and there's not enough weight in the rear, this has a motor in it. It runs and drives. So I'm gonna have to do jack stands because it's really front heavy, and I just don't want to risk it. So we'll go ahead and start. We'll do jack stands, get our brackets tacked on, start doing our 4-link. We're gonna do an inner 4-link if we can. So I'll have to play around with that and see what works best, and then start setting up coilovers and all that. Hopefully we have a rear end set today. The client's gonna come by and take a look at it. I've been sending him pictures nonstop and he's excited about it, so he's finally able to make it over here. One last thing we'll need to do is, as I push you back here, we're gonna put another cross member somewhere in here, guys. So that way the tank is kind of boxed out and we have a little bit more strength behind. I need to add the coilover, or the coilover cross member in here somewhere. So we'll figure that out as well when we start hanging suspension. But for now, I'm just gonna I'm gonna focus on the boxes, get those all done, and then we'll set the rear end up under here. So back on time lapse, guys. Enjoy the music, all that good stuff. And also, if you guys haven't seen my shorts, make sure you guys check those out. My other videos. This thing's already got 2 or 3 videos out about what I've been doing, so you guys can watch this from start to finish. And yeah, so let's get to work, guys.
All right, guys, so this next video is gonna be setting the rear end. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is make sure you're centered left to right, as well as front to rear in the notch. You wanna be centered in that notch. And you'll go ahead and set your pinion angle, which I set these at 3 degrees upwards. You'll wanna do that. And then from there, what I do, and what I found is the easiest, is I weld these boxes in here, and that keeps me centered left to right and pinion angle, everything. And they just mount to the notch and mount to the housing with a couple of tacks. And then from there, what you can do is start putting on your 4-link, and with the pinion at 3 degrees, now all your 4-link brackets are gonna mount at 90 degrees or a 0 degree. From there, you can go ahead and burn all this stuff in. You're gonna wanna make sure that you're extremely careful when you're welding the axle housing brackets. They have a tendency to warp the tubes if you run them too hot, and just burn everything in all at once, and then you'll have leaking seals.